Welcome to the John and Heidi Show podcast, brought to you by DirecTV, 1-800-259-7646. Also brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're buying an RV or selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com and the Dollar Shave Club. Here's John and Heidi.
Thank you so much for listening on a Friday. Hello, baby. How you doing?
Hey, I'm super. How are you?
Very, very good. I've got some fun stories to share today. And I just realized I don't have any interviews today. No authors.
So I get to stay in the room the whole time.
You're here all day.
Oh my gosh.
I know, it's crazy,
it's
isn't
my
it?
birthday.
No, it's not. We're gonna that day I'm gonna have a bunch of guests, and we won't have any room for you. No, we'll definitely keep you around. Hey, two men attempting to rob a Winnipeg. I'm gonna hold this closer. Got my reading glasses on, and it's way across the room. Two men attempting to rob a Winnipeg restaurant were forced to retreat when they were attacked by angry patrons.
Oh, nice.
Police said the robbery went awry when one of the thieves got into a scuffle with a 74-year-old waiter. That's when customers jumped in to help any way they could, including a man who smashed a fishbowl over the head of one of the crooks. The robbers left with no cash, and they're still on the run.
Nice.
So, yeah.
I like that.
A 74-year-old waiter was getting ridiculed and picked on by these robbers, and the customer said, "I don't think so, mister. Have a fishbowl to go."
Well, good for them.
I think that's really cool. And again, good news is, he didn't get anything. So maybe if enough people retaliate, maybe the idiots will quit robbing places,
Exactly.
Probably not, though. Headline for our next story, Islamic divorce not binding in Maryland. Yeah, we're going to chat about that on the way. It is a Friday. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVWheelator.com. If you're selling an RV, check out RVWheelator.com. They only get paid if they help you sell your RV. If you're buying an RV, you can find great deals at RVWheelator.com. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Headline here, Heidi.
Okay.
Islamic divorce not binding in Maryland.
What does that mean?
It says here, he hates confrontation. The Maryland Court of Appeals ruled that saying, "I divorce thee 3 times" is not valid in Maryland.
No. That shouldn't be valid anywhere.
That is the way that they get divorced in other countries. I divorce thee, I divorce thee, I divorce thee. It's kind of like Beetlejuice.
You know what? If you do that, though, and you change your mind, you just have to say, I
remarry
take that back, I take that back,
remarry thee. I remarry thee. I don't know. They say that's not valid. A World Bank economist who moved there from Pakistan in 1985, he went to the Pakistan embassy in D.C. and he used the Islamic method to divorce his wife of over 20 years without telling her so he could keep her from getting any of his $2 million fortune. But then the court ruled that
without telling her
that no matter where you're from in Maryland, saying "I divorce thee 3 times" is not enough. So good luck, mister.
Yeah.
That's not how it works here.
Nice try.
I'm telling you, it's a good thing that they didn't say, "Oh, hey, we need to bow down to you and make sure that your rules work here too." Because if that were the case,
and how would you prove that you had even done that? Even if they said that was applicable, how would they prove? Because you didn't say it to her.
I divorce thee. I divorce thee. I divorce thee. What was that, sweetie? Nothing.
See, I do that like 6 times a day, and it doesn't hold up here.
I love thee. I cherish thee. I hope thee will stay with me all the rest of the day. All right, there you go. A couple of interesting stories coming up. Thanks for listening on a Friday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
You ever had a bad day, Heidi?
Yes.
How bad was it? Was it pretty bad?
Oh, I've had very bad days.
All right.
Yes.
Well, I don't know if it has anything at all to hold a candle to poor Justin Hill. Justin Hill was turning into a driveway of his home in Rock Island, Tennessee. Unfortunately, that turn took him into the path of an oncoming vehicle. When his wife heard the crash, she left the dinner cooking on the stove unattended, ran out of their trailer to see what happened. As Justin was being taken to the hospital, he watched as his dinner went up in flames with his home.
Oh, no.
The day got even worse for Justin as he was ticketed in the accident for failure to yield. So that's not a very good day.
I've never had a day that bad, I can honestly say.
So for all of you out there who've had a bad day, just keep
Count
in
your
mind.
blessings. It could always be worse.
It certainly could. Unless, of course, your name is Justin Hill. For you, I feel so sorry.
It still could get worse. He could be getting tested for his injuries from the accident and find out he has cancer or something.
But you never know. So
yeah, could always be worse. No matter what's going on, it could always be worse. Count your blessings.
Heidi just hexed you with that, by the way. So
no, I did not.
So I hope all goes well there. Thank you so much for listening. Coming up here in a bit, the saying, you get what you pay for, that is unless you're in Washington, D.C. We'll tell you all about that in a bit.
This is John Stossel. Anything that makes it harder for you to speak limits your life. So if you or someone you know stutters, you can call the Stuttering Foundation for help. 800-992-9392.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
There's an old saying, you get what you pay for. Well, that is unless you live in Washington, D.C.
Okay.
Then maybe you won't. The Washington, that's where our president and Congress and all these people are. But they recently paid $10 million for this is 3 years ago, for several streetcars made in the Czech Republic. 3 years later, those streetcars are still sitting in the Czech Republic. You know why that is?
Why is that?
Because D.C. still hasn't built the tracks for these cars.
Oh, nice.
So they bought rail cars to put on a rail that doesn't exist yet.
Yeah,
so
that's our government for you. That's
they also have no idea when that rail is actually going to be finished.
That's ridiculous.
They paid $10 million 3 years ago for the rail cars, just don't have a place to put them yet. You'd think they'd at least say, can you ship them here? Let's park. If they put them right in front of the guys in Congress so they had to walk around them every day, I bet they'd get those rails put up a lot quicker.
I don't know.
Probably.
I doubt it.
You don't think so?
No.
All right. We've got your scoop of the day on the way. Thanks for listening on a Friday.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1, plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Time now for the scoop of the day, brought to you by the Dollar Shave Club. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio. They say the Bible cannot be the official Tennessee book. According to the Attorney General, a bill seeking to make the Bible the state's official book would violate separation of church and state provisions in federal and state constitutions. The legal opinion was issued by Attorney General Herbert Slattery a day before the full House was scheduled to vote on the measure. So they say, I don't think so. So we'll see where that ends up. And at first, for Americans, a new study says we're spending more on country eating away from home than we are on groceries. As a country, I see. I was going to say
that does not make sense at all.
I may need a new prescription in these glasses. We're spending more
as a country
eating away from home than we are on groceries.
I would agree with that.
According to a Commerce Department data report, they say restaurants and bars raked in more sales in March of 2015 than grocery stores, which is a first.
Yeah.
Ever. Means that we're wanting things quicker. I think our family does that, though.
I know our family does that.
Can't really knock it because we're doing it. Hey, in this constantly connected digital world, the chirping of a mobile phone beside a bed is rarely a pleasant way to be woken in the morning. But a team behind a new app clearly feels that the tiny rendition of Roomba blaring from your mobile is not enough to drag you from beneath the covers. Instead, they've developed an alarm that will not only turn off it'll only turn off if you physically get out of bed. We've talked about this, haven't we?
We did talk about this, yes.
And then you have to scan a barcode in another part of your house to get it to stop. So this one is a different one than the other one that was based on the weight in the bed. This one, you have to get out of bed and scan a barcode in a different room.
Wow.
The I'm Up mobile app alarm clock is linked to a QR code that may be anywhere in your home, not within arm's reach of the bed, though, and the alarm does not go off until you scan the code.
Yeah, I don't think I would like that.
How long would it take before you just say, I'm going to take a photo of that code and I'm going to sit it next to my bed? There you go. Now I'm going back to sleep. So for those of you who developed that app, I just one-upped you. Now there's a museum specifically designed for social media snapshots. According to a new Time Interaction in the Philippines uses 3D replicas of paintings to put visitors in the center of the art's most famous masterpieces. It's been dubbed the planet's first ever selfie museum. It allows you to step into Van Gogh's swirly sky, pose for a pic in King Tut's tomb, or play a hand with C.M. Coolidge's poker-loving dogs. So they're saying in this museum you'll be able to live inside the art.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Airport security guards in Tampa busted illegal Peruvian immigrant Mario Riano after she had approached a Continental Air counter to buy a ticket to Newark with 8 bulging duffel bags behind her. Apparently new at smuggling, Rihanna froze when the standard airline traveler said, "Did you pack your own bags?" When she snapped, "Why do you need to know that?" Security was summoned, and they found $25,000 worth of shoplifted upscale clothing. So that's what she was smuggling.
That's not good.
And our strange law. In Texas, it is illegal to milk another person's cow. I think that's
that'd be stealing.
Isn't that the 11th commandment? Thou shalt not milk another man's cow.
That would be stealing. I can see that.
All right. Thanks for listening to the Scoop of the Day, brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. Learn more at dollarshaveclub.com/radio.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1 plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And I have a special guest today on the program. Her name is Heidi Small. Heidi, how are you?
I'm super.
What inspired you to write the book you didn't write? You ever notice that's my first question every time?
Well,
I've got other people that notice it that I always ask.
With what works.
They ask, "Why do you always say what inspired you?" I said, "What would you ask?"
Yeah.
Do you have a better first question?
Yeah, what should the first
to
question
me, I
be?
think that's the right first question. Hey, since we don't have someone to talk to today, we're going to talk about this. A 26-year-old Greenfield, Wisconsin mom has taken herself out of the running for Mother of the Year award. You ready for this one, Heidi?
Sure.
Probably one of the most disturbing stories I've ever heard in the This Brain's on Drugs segment, I guess. Lucky for her, unnamed mother, they didn't put her name in the news, was busted at a restaurant for smoking. Actually, Mom wasn't the only one smoking. It was her 2-year-old son that was smoking.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. The boy's aunt was also there. She told police the boy often smokes and sometimes takes cigarettes out of the pack and puts them in his mouth, wanting them to get lit.
Oh, my God.
Even worse, the aunt says Mom also keeps a rolled-up dollar bill in the bedroom, which her son plays with. By playing with it, she meant he holds it up to his nose and says, "Fix, fix," over and over. There you go.
Oh,
that
wow.
really happened.
Wow.
So this is a 2-year-old child that's being raised in Wisconsin. Like I said, they didn't put the mom's name in there. Thank goodness. But it's a 26-year-old mother in Greenfield, Wisconsin. That's just sad.
Oh, my gosh. That is disgusting.
That is terrible. So, I don't know. I think that's really what... I'm speechless. And that doesn't happen often. So I think we'll just move on. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show. It's a Friday.
Hi, it's Jewel and Kelly Pickler. Lung cancer is the #1 cancer killer of women. So we've joined the American Lung Association's Lung Force because it's going to take a force of women to create new hope. Please join us. Fight lung cancer in women at lungforce.org.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Today's a special day, Heidi. You know what today is?
What is today, John?
Today's Friday, the 15th day of May. We're halfway through the month. That means today is Flip Your Mattress Day. Apparently you're supposed to do that.
At the middle of every month?
I don't know.
Or just...
middle of this month, anyway. It's also
this month.
International Walk Day. You're supposed to leave your car and walk today. I walked to work this morning to celebrate.
Nice.
I walk to work every day. I live here. This is also Universal Families Week. It is also International Day of Families. Today is National Chocolate Chip Cookie Day. Okay, the rest of this doesn't matter because that's what I'm celebrating. It's Never Turn Your Back on the Ocean Day. It's Relieve Your Past by listening to the first music you ever bought, no matter what it is, and No Excuses Now Day.
That's ridiculous.
Somebody needs to get a life if that's the kind of thing they're coming up with. There you go. That's how you celebrate. If all you heard was a bunch of wah, 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 all you need to know, chocolate chip cookie day. Get some milk. Let's celebrate.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com. They only get paid if they help you sell your RV. If you're buying an RV, you can find great deals at RVRealtor.com. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Gas prices fluctuate all the time, but when gas prices go up, there could be some good news, too. I know you're looking at me funny right now. Let me explain this. People who bought one of those hybrids are recouping the higher cost of the vehicle in less time when the price of gas goes up. While projections for breaking even had been around 5 years, rising gas prices have driven that down to 2 or 3 years. On the downside, increased demand for the hybrids is driving the price of the hybrid up. Of course, not all hybrids are created economically equal. At current fuel prices, the Toyota Highlander hybrid takes 12.7 years to break even. The Saturn Aura takes 24.3 years. But those don't top the list. The Lexus LS600H hybrid compared with the gasoline version, in order to pay off the difference, 102.6 years.
Whoa.
At today's gas prices.
Whoa.
It's an extra, quite a bit. It's $106,000.
That's craziness.
Yeah. So there you go. Fill her up, drive, have some fun. We don't have a hybrid, do we?
No.
None of our vehicles?
Nope.
We should maybe think about getting one of those.
No, it doesn't sound like it.
Sounds like such a bargain from that story. All right. Thanks for listening to the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1 plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Where we live, we say Manchester, but in England, they say Manchester.
Okay.
You ever heard it?
Yeah. Why are you talking about that?
Because that's where we're heading with this story.
Okay.
From Manchester, England, 3 armed gang members burst into a crowded gym, punching rival gang members and threatening him with a submachine gun in front of shocked onlookers. Might have gone a lot more smoothly for the gangbusters if it weren't for the uniformed. The uninformed. Can we stop by and get some new lenses?
It's definitely Friday.
If it weren't for the uniformed police officers in the next room giving a talk on the dangers of gun crime.
Oh, that's funny.
They called in an armed response unit who caught the punks after a very, very brief chase in the room next door. So
I did not know there were gangs in England.
Manchester.
Wouldn't you love to hear a
How
British
proper.
gang?
Yeah.
Like what they say?
That would be kind of funny. What's something that a gang member here would say? Something like,
give me your money or I'll blow your brains out.
Okay, now say that with your British accent. You have a very good British accent. Say, give me your money or I'll blow your brains out.
Well, they wouldn't say it like that because they're too polite.
But say it how you think they would say it.
Pardon me, but would you kindly empty the contents of your wallet into this bag before I am forced to bring your life to an unpleasant end?
You have me quaking over here. I'm thinking, whatever you need, baby. I'll hand it over. All right. Thanks for listening on a Friday.
This is John Stossel. Anything that makes it harder for you to speak limits your life. So if you or someone you know stutters, you can call the Stuttering Foundation for help. 800-992-9392.
You're listening to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
Librarians. I've never
Yes.
had anything against librarians. Have you?
No.
I can't even think of a reason you'd ever be upset with a librarian, but I might actually be upset with some librarians after this. There's a group of librarians that want the Dr. Seuss classic Hop on Pop to be banned.
Why?
Because they claim it encourages violence. Is there an epidemic of people jumping on their fathers that I'm not aware of?
This is insane.
Are they going to ban Horton Hears a Who because it's discriminating against elephants that hear things? Are they going to ban Green Eggs and Ham because they talk about delicious goodness in a very interesting way?
So easily offended today, and it just drives me crazy. That book's been around forever.
I know. And one of my favorite books is not that one, but Green Eggs and Ham. It really is one of my favorite books. On my Facebook page, where you're supposed to put your favorite books, I have that listed.
They'll probably
many
ban that one next because it encourages people to keep pestering somebody when they don't want to do something. It's peer pressure.
Well, I have had more than one person say, I think it's funny that you say your favorite book is Green Eggs and Ham. And I said, it is one of my favorite. It's not the favorite, but it's one of my favorite because it's a cool book. And there's a great story that I could certainly teach you if I had the time, but not right now. Now we got to move on. Coming up in a bit, we've got some cattle in the news. We've got some special things for people who like numbers. We're going to end the program on that, and much, much more on the way on a Friday edition of the John and Heidi Show.
This portion of the program is brought to you by RVRealtor.com. If you're selling an RV, check out RVRealtor.com. They only get paid if they help you sell your RV. If you're buying an RV, you can find great deals at RVRealtor.com. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
There's some stuff going on in India. I don't know what's happening, but the cattle in India are getting their own ID cards.
What?
Yeah. Indian cattle in India are getting individual identity cards to prevent cattle rustling. People are stealing cattle.
Oh.
over here in the United States, they put tags on their ears or they brand them.
Yeah.
But apparently that's not going to work. Authorities in West Bengal say cows and bulls are often stolen and smuggled into Bangladesh. So there you go.
Where do the cows keep the cow?
Probably in their leather purse.
In their wallet? What's the wallet made of?
Human leather. Ooh. I have no idea. I really don't know. So they're giving them some sort of individual identity tag.
Huh.
Interesting. Numbers geeks, hey, we need to band together. I've got a story to share with you that's going to make you happy. It's on the way. Thanks for listening.
This portion of the program is brought to you by Dollar Shave Club. You can get razors sent to your door each month for just $1 plus a couple of bucks shipping. It's an amazing deal. Log on to dollarshaveclub.com/radio to learn more. That's dollarshaveclub.com/radio. Now, back to the John and Heidi Show podcast.
I'm a little bit of a numbers geek.
You are not.
I am too. When it comes to,
gosh.
Here's what I'm talking about. I'm not saying I'm a mathematician by any means, but I like numbers. Like so many times, I have, for whatever reason, I memorize phone numbers really easily. Okay. And I'm the one that we'll be driving down the road and I'll notice my odometer. I'm like, hey guys, everybody look, see, look what right there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
that's what I'm talking about.
All right.
And these type of things right here make me very happy for some reason. A little trivia for numbers geeks out there, and people who crave order. Every number right now through the 19th of May is the same, read forward and backwards. It started on the 10th of May.
I read this.
I didn't know this until just today. Starting with the 10th of May, 51015. It goes forward and backward, same thing.
Yeah.
Like the word race car. You can spell it the same way both ways. But the date, like today, the 15th, it's 51515.
Yeah.
Either way you go, from the front or from the back. So it's the same thing both ways. And it's time to say goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, Heidi.
Goodbye, everybody. I'm going to try to start ending with quotes because I found these really cool quotes, and they're so funny, and I never get to share quotes.
Okay, let's
share a
share a
quote
quote
today from Tom Griffin. My uncle had a rabbit's foot for 30 years. His other foot was quite normal.
That's nice.
Thank you, Tom Griffin. That's funny. Hey, if you got a great quote, send it to me. I'll make sure I add that. We appreciate you tuning in. We'll be back on Monday with another edition of the John and Heidi Show.
Time now for the bonus break. Only available here on the John and Heidi Show podcast.
And our bonus break today, we're going to talk about this. A band made $20,000 from Spotify by uploading 10 songs. $20,000. They made $20,000 by uploading 10 songs.
Really?
Here's the thing that's interesting, though, because anybody could do that if you're a band, but I could have done this. You know what the songs were?
What?
10 tracks of nothing but silence.
What?
Silence.
Well, how did they make?
People bought that. They made $20,000 on it.
Wow.
So it was 10 different tracks of nothing but silence.
That is ridiculous.
That's the good news. The bad news is it was not Taylor Swift. So, a design team in London has developed an edible water bottle to replace plastic ones. That's kind of an interesting idea.
An edible water bottle?
So when you get done drinking your water, you eat the bottle.
Does it say what it tastes like?
Oh, apparently it tastes like chicken. Everything does, doesn't it? I have no idea.
Huh.
Doesn't sound appetizing unless, maybe it says a design team in London. So I'm assuming it won't taste good no matter what.
Nice.
If it was from France, maybe. From Italy, possibly. London, not necessarily known for their fine cuisine.
Funny.
All right. Time to say goodbye again, Heidi.
Goodbye again, Heidi.
All right. We're done with our podcast. Go find something important to do. Make a change in the world.